Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. Today we visit New Beginnings Animal Rescue on Cranberry Road to talk with the shelter director and meet some furry friends that are up for adoption. Then we head to the Community Arts Center for a cello, piano, and flute trio performance sponsored by the East Brunswick Arts Commission. East Brunswick Public Library hosted Furry Angel's pet therapy dogs as part of a Read Across America initiative that allows children to read their favorite stories to dogs to practice their reading and public speaking skills. Karen Perry, Manager of Information Services at the library, sits down in studio with oncologist Dr. Michael Nissenblatt to talk about an upcoming program he will be hosting about cancer. All this, plus we have information about the upcoming Friends of the Library book and media sale, and more. So stay with us. This Week in East Brunswick starts now.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Podolsky. I'm the Library Director at the East Brunswick Public Library. Today we're visiting New Beginnings Animal Rescue, located at 706 Cranberry Road, right here in East Brunswick. Today we're going to be talking to Barbara Keegan, Shelter Director, and she has a guest with her too. Who do you have here, Barbara?
This is Boomer. He's our oldest resident. He's 16 years old and a very good boy.
Is Boomer up for adoption?
Boomer is up for adoption.
Great, we'll talk about that in a minute. Barbara, tell us a little bit about New Beginnings, how it got its beginning and how long you've been around.
Okay, New Beginnings Animal Rescue started, we opened here in May of 2014. A bunch of us were formerly involved with running a shelter that was in Sayreville that closed down in 2012. Once the shelter closed, we realized there was a big void here, and so we got a group together and formed a board and did some fundraising and found this location and took off.
Great. And how many volunteers do you have?
We started out with about 20 volunteers. The outpouring of the community has been phenomenal, and as of last count at Christmas, I bought 80 volunteer gifts, so there's 80 volunteers on the roster.
That's great.
It is great. It's wonderful.
Wonderful. And what kind of animals do you take in here?
We just do dogs and cats, puppies and kittens. We don't do any small guinea pigs or no snakes, nothing like that.
No
here.
snakes?
No.
Okay. And what is the fee to adopt? What is the adoption process if someone is interested in a dog or cat from your shelter?
Our adoption process is fairly easy. It's a one-page application. Basically, we check a vet reference. We verify that the adopter is allowed to have a pet where they live. We like everyone who lives in the home to come and meet before we do a final approval. Our adoption fees are very, very reasonable. To adopt a cat is $75, a kitten is $95. A dog is $100, a puppy is $175. For that fee, everyone is already spayed or neutered,
Great.
including the little ones, up to date with vaccines, tested, dewormed, checked by our vet. That's all included in the fee.
Great. Now, if somebody wanted to help your rescue, what is the best way for them to do that?
Okay, well, we need everything because we don't get anything provided to us by the government. We don't have any municipal contracts, so we always need food donated, mostly cat food. We always need all types of supplies, bleach, laundry detergent, trash bags, you name it. Anything you'd need in your home, we need here to run.
Is there a link on your website for that where
There
they can
is.
get more specifics?
Yes, there's a link to our Amazon wish list
Okay.
on our website. Fundraising is really important. Most of our expenses are our veterinary bills. We're going to be in the Brunswick Square Mall on April 17th, which is a Sunday afternoon, for an adoption day there.
Great.
And a community day. We also have a golf outing coming up on June 13th at Glenwood Country Club, and our big car show on July 10th at the VFW in Sayreville. All great events.
Great. And what if someone is interested in adopting? How should they go about that? What's your process? What would be the best way for them to do that?
Well, people are welcome to stop by. It's great to meet the animals firsthand, but you can also get a preview by going either to our Facebook page, our website, or our Petfinder page. All of our animals are posted with photos and bios, and we keep it very current. So most people go take a look and see what's on there and then stop by to visit.
Great. And as you said before, Boomer here is available for adoption?
Boomer is available
What's
for
his
adoption.
story? Does he have a story?
He does have a story. He was owned by a woman who was 91 years old, had to move in with family members for health reasons, tried to keep him, but their dog did not care for him, so she reluctantly gave him up, but knows that he's safe here with us.
He looks really friendly.
He's a doll. He's really a good boy. So one of our favorites here, volunteer favorites, is Bob Dylan. He is about 3 years old. He was rescued from outside. He was in a feral cat colony, but obviously he's not feral. He is super friendly, a big mush, head butter, loves people. Bob Dylan is, however, FIV positive, which means he has feline AIDS. Not detrimental, he's just a carrier of the disease. Best in a home where he will get along with other cats, because it can be spread through a deep bite. And so if he was with someone that he didn't get along with and bit them, it could be spread. But otherwise, he's fine. He's out and about here. He's a great cat. So Mousy is a cute little black and white guy. He's about a year old. He also was rescued from a colony outdoors. He was going to be fixed and put back out until his rescuer realized he had a very strange gait. When she brought him into the doctor, they realized he is missing a foot on one of his back legs, and so she asked us if we would take him in rather than put him outside. He is a friendly cat. He's a little bit shy, but he's very, very sweet, and it's really cool to watch him walk because he compensates for the loss of the foot really, really well. He would do good probably in just about any home. Very sweet. Samson is 6 years old. He's a great big orange tabby with a white tipped tail. We rescued him from a high kill shelter where he was scheduled to be euthanized. He was surrendered by his owner. Very, very sweet cat, very loving, big mush, just wants to sit on your lap. Okay, so this is Buddy. He is 4.5 years old. He's a black lab mix, probably mixed with maybe a little Rottie or a little pit bull. We don't know his heritage for sure. He has been with us for a couple of months. Unfortunately, black dogs are the last to be adopted, and so are black cats in the sheltering world. People just tend to favor other colors. We don't know why, it's just the way it is, but this is one awesome dog. He is fantastically housebroken, never ever has an accident, walks real well on a leash. He's good with older kids. He actually loves little kids, but he might knock them over, so we prefer older kids. He would prefer to be your only pet, although he does like dogs his own size, so he probably could go into a home with another dog his size. Right, Bud? Great dog. Ready-made dog, just waiting for a home. This is Bodie. He is a purebred Shih Tzu. He is 7 years old. He's a neutered male. He came to us as a product of a divorce situation. He is a ready-made dog. He's very housebroken, knows some commands, very good with kids. We don't know if he likes other animals or not. He has never lived with one, but we'd be willing to give it a shot if somebody was interested. Really great, really cute little dog.
Thanks, Barbara, for showing us around today.
My pleasure.
We had a great time. So be sure to look for this and upcoming events at our library's website, ebpl.org.
Let's take a look at a concert sponsored by the East Brunswick Arts Commission of Cello, Flute, and Piano, which took place Sunday, March 6th at the East Brunswick Community Arts Center on Cranberry Road.
Performers today included Mary Schmidt on the flute, Elizabeth Thompson on the cello, and Dr. Hikiko Hosaki playing the piano.
The next piece is Pavan for a Dead Princess by Ravel. And I remember hearing this when I was a little kid, and it made me profoundly sad that it's a song about someone who died very young. And then many years later, I found out that Ravel just gave it that title because he liked the way the words went together in French. It's not really about someone who has died. It's it's a gentle pavane, a kind of slow-moving dance, and I'm very relieved by that, because up until recently I couldn't even play this piece because it made me so sad. So, and Ravel himself said, "Oh no, don't be sad. It's make-believe. I just made it up. I like the title, so just enjoy the music, and don't worry, everyone is still okay."
At one point during this concert, Miss Schmidt actually invited up students under the tutelage of Mrs. Bunny Gittleman up to the stage to play a piece from famous composer Gabriel Fauré. We're going to return to Paris to play the Poulenc Sonata. Oh, that we would all be in Paris right now. Let's see, right about now it would be time, what about 10:30 at night, it would be time to go out and have something to eat and sit in a cafe, right? That'd be great. This piece was written, people think it's written for Jean-Pierre Rampal, the great French flutist who was my idol growing up. Until I met Bunny Gittleman, and then she became my idol. But we're not really sure, because there are letters from Poulenc to his publisher, and letters back and forth, little notes back and forth between Rampal and Poulenc. So we're not really sure who it was written for, but it was commissioned by an American, Elizabeth Sprague Coolidge, who was responsible for commissioning a lot of works.
Upcoming performances will be pianist Alina Kiryayeva on Sunday, March 13th at 3 p.m. and Israel is a Funny Country, a humor program by Al Kostanowitz on Sunday, March 20th at 3 p.m. Go to eastbrunswick.org for more information.
Hi, Tori is here today for Read Across America. We've been coming here to this library since October of 2006, and the Furry Angels will be here today so that the children can read to them. And the children will just come in and they'll sit and they'll read and they'll pet the dogs and enjoy a visit. Therapy dogs are often used in schools and libraries to help children enjoy reading. When a child reads to a dog, it's very good for their self-esteem, and it gets them used to speaking out loud, so they get used to public speaking. Other things that therapy dogs do include going to nursing homes and hospitals and schools and libraries. Tori has been very active with therapy dogs for 10 years, and she's also very active at the military base in Fort Dix, McGuire, and Lakehurst. They do a lot there, welcoming home troops and working with children at the library there.
Hello, I'm Karen Parry. I'm the Manager of Information Services at the library, and I'm so happy today to be joined by Dr. Michael Nissenblatt, oncologist here in East Brunswick at Regional Cancer Care Associates. Welcome, Dr. Nissenblatt.
Thank you.
And I am so excited about a program that the doctor will be holding at the library on Wednesday, April 6th, entitled, Is Cancer in Your Family? Is Cancer Due to Bad Genes or Bad Luck? What an interesting title, and what an interesting topic. Welcome, Dr. Nissenblatt, and can you please tell us a little bit about your program on Wednesday, April 6th?
Absolutely. You know, there's at this time about 1.7 million cases of cancer in the United States every year, about 600,000 deaths. The data just came out from the American Cancer Society Cancer Journal. And last year, there was an amazing article that was published from Johns Hopkins by Bert Vogelstein and Christian Tamasulo. And the study was entitled, The Cause of Cancer, Is It Bad Luck? And the final analysis was that about 2/3 of cancers seem to be caused by the unpredictable mutation events that take place in genes that can then promote cancer. That led to an enormous controversy. If cancer is bad luck, then what difference does it make whether we smoke or drink What a difference does it make whether we take care of ourselves with physical exercise and cautious diet? If it's going to happen anyway, it doesn't make any difference. Furthermore, it was felt that only 1/3 of all of the cancers were attributable to genes that we would inherit from mom or dad, or from other mechanisms that we would not have control over. And so the idea was that if cancer was something that was going to be unpredictable and bad luck, we wouldn't do anything. Well, I take exactly the opposite step. I see patients every day who think that their cancer is not controllable, who thinks that their cancer is caused by something that they did to themselves, and therefore they feel a sense of guilt, they feel a sense of hardship, they feel that they've harmed their families. And I tell them that's wrong. No matter whether you were a smoker, a drinker, or had some other process that led to cancer, for example, hepatitis, or parvovirus, or a virus such as HPV, these things that can cause cancers, in which case we can modify our lifestyle, we can modify what we eat and what we drink, and it does make a difference in terms of our futures. There are many genes in our body. There's thought to be about 22,000 of them. Of these, about 125 of them have something to do with cancer. Some of these genes are genes which are gatekeeper genes. A simple mutation in one of these genes can open up a gate and lead to a floodline of other events that lead to cancer. Other genes can then promote the progression of a cancer. We call these driver genes, just like if you're driving a car. But if you're a driver in a car, there can also be passenger genes, genes that just come along for a ride and which don't really cause the cancer or promote the cancer, but are part of life. Well, these genes, some of them are genes that are like stepping on the gas. We call them oncogenes. Others of them are like stepping on the brakes, breaker or suppressor genes. All of these genes can be modified by our lifestyle. All of these genes may be affected by what we do. The plan of this program that I'm going to present is to tell the public that there are things that we can do. We can take charge of our lives, we can modify our lifestyle, and we can reduce the risk of breast cancer, whether it's sporadic or whether it's hereditary. And when it's hereditary, we can be proactive, or I like to use the word proleptic, and do investigations that determine the risks, that determine whether something might be developing already at a very early stage, and then we can interrupt the natural history of their high risk of breast cancer and prevent them from developing breast cancer altogether. By the way, it's important for the public to know that this, in the case of breast cancer 1 and breast cancer 2, that men are also at risk. Men are also at risk for sporadic breast cancer, of whom I see quite frequently. I want the public to know that we can do many things, that guilt is not on the table in this lecture, but being knowledgeable, being informed, being self-armed can help us be able to take charge of our lives. Never give up. Stopping smoking for 10 or more years reduces our risk for developing lung cancer to the same level as though we were never smokers if we have ceased for 10 years. People get worried about drinking. If it's red wine, not a problem. Inside of red wine are components, something which is called angiotensin, that reduces the risk of developing cancers of all sorts. And so life longevity that we hear from red wine can also be accompanied by reducing the risk of many cancers. The exercise, we're going to talk about strategies for early diagnosis. We're going to talk about who should be tested for the high-risk genes of colon cancer, the high-risk genes for lung cancer, the high-risk genes for breast and ovarian cancer. We're going to talk about strategies for prevention, whether it's sporadic or whether it's hereditary cancers. I want the public to be informed, armed, and with that, we can help together to reduce their risk of breast cancers, their risks of colon cancers, their risks of lung cancers, and many others. And I will take questions from the audience regarding treatment, diagnosis, and any strategy they wish to pursue. I invite the entire public to participate in this groundbreaking East Brunswick RCCA-sponsored program. And I thank East Brunswick library. I thank Karen Perry for making this possible.
Thank you, Dr. Nissenblatt. We are so happy to sponsor this under our Just for the Health of It initiative, and we are so inspired by your knowledge and enthusiasm. And I welcome all of our residents to please come to Dr. Nissenblatt's program Wednesday, April 6th at 7 o'clock at the library. Thank you, Dr. Nissenblatt.
Thank you.
It's time for the 42nd annual Friends of the Library Bargain Book and Media Sale. Thousands of items for all ages and interests will be for sale at fantastic discounts starting on Monday, April 4th and running through Sunday, April 10th at Center Court of the Brunswick Square Mall on Route 18. The sale will open at 10 a.m. on April 4th and will run during regular mall hours, with a special preview sale from 8 to 9 a.m. on Monday, April 4th for a $25 fee. This much anticipated event draws thousands of people from all over the state, and all proceeds go to the East Brunswick Public Library. So come and check out the collection of books, movies, CDs, audiobooks, and more at a bargain that can't be beat. There will also be free children's activities on Wednesday, April 6th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. For more information about the sale or for other events sponsored by the Friends of the Library, please visit the library website at www.ebpl.org or call 732-390-6950. And be sure not to miss the largest book and media sale in central New Jersey.
Hi, I'm Melissa Hosick, and I invite you to attend one of our upcoming March events at the East Brunswick Public Library. All are open to the public. On Saturday, March 19th, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., visit our Makers Day, where hands-on programs and demonstrations for adults, including upcycling and building furniture, DIY phone repair, bookbinding, film editing, and more. On Wednesday, March 30th at 6:30 p.m., come learn about the East Brunswick Community Garden at their annual meeting. To register for a plot, please visit the link below. On Thursday, March 31st at 7 p.m., Dale Calendar will help parents and teens learn how to write unique college essays, develop a list of target schools, and talk about current trends in admissions. To learn about our other upcoming events, such as film festivals, computer training, and crafting for adults, visit ebpl.org/calendar or follow us on social media. We hope to see you in March.